This is it, man. This is what we've been waiting for.
Welcome back, Warriors. We're so excited to have you with us for this next
Please
segment
don't
here.
crash
You
this
learned
time.
a ton about the OCELOTL from their background, their history, their art direction, but now it's time to get into the nitty-gritty with the gameplay. And who better to do that than the person joining me on the couch today, our Lord and Savior, JC. Welcome back to the show, JC.
Hello.
JC, the man.
I'm really happy to be here.
The man, the myth, the legend himself.
Yeah.
I'm finally here. I know people were calling out for me. I'm finally.
They were worried. They were like,
ritual and everything.
I did, yeah.
JC
just so you know, that works in the office
bro.
too. If you mention JC a couple times, he'll just show up at your desk, and it works great. So good job, chat. We saw you out there. But also joining us today on the couch for the very first time, we have Daniel and Jimmy, who are from the animation team.
What's JC
here
doing?
to talk about all the animation stuff. You want to say hi to the chat, to the lovely people at home?
Yeah, hello.
If I was going to pull
Super
something
happy
out
to
then,
be
like
here.
a surprise.
You, Warrior 10 is my first one. And yeah, I hope you will like the animation for
The
this
GOAT. Exactly.
Yeah.
JC, the
Hello.
GOAT,
Nowadays
man.
they call
Greatest
me
of all
the cool
time.
Daniel.
I agree.
Oh.
Lord and Savior.
Usually I go by the name Jimmy, so nice to meet you all. First Warrior 10
JC
as well.
for president.
Very happy to be here.
I love it. Awesome. So that's great. And I also see that YouTube maybe brought a little something.
Please don't
Yes,
crash.
right.
Please,
Not a gift,
please
but-
do not crash.
Not again.
We got our mocap weapons ready to fight it off in the studio, but no,
Yeah,
not really.
no. Only one animator. So
You gotta hold it up for the camera.
Oh, that's
so-
cool.
Yeah,
The
hold up
mocap
You gotta
weapons.
see. There you go. Yeah. So this is
Oh, that's
always
sick,
fun
man.
because again, Daniel, Jimmy, two of the lead animators working on the OCELOTL, and they,
Hey.
these are the actual mocap props, right?
Yeah,
we use
right.
in the studio for these. These things are huge, so you get a really good sense of scale. Do you want to maybe tell us a bit what it was like working with these?
Hey, King,
what
thank
I
you
can
for the
say is
5, bro.
first day,
Sorry,
even
I
not
missed
the
that.
first day of the mocap shoot, during the rehearsal, just we broke it.
Yeah.
And
I
the actor
broke
just
it,
broke it, and then we had to say, oh my god, what we are doing, so we had to come up with a solution for it. And then it was
Silver, thank you for the free, bro. I
We
appreciate
made
it,
it work.
guys.
We made it
we
work.
made it work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
was-
think you can see it there.
Was the solution more duct tape?
Always.
Now you can see it everywhere.
Always
Like
more-
that's
Always.
the best solution ever.
More
So,
tape,
yeah.
they'll be fine.
They get actual animators? Yeah, of
Alright.
course. They always
I
have.
think that's great. So yeah, thank you for showing that off. I always think it's really cool to get a little, to see some of that behind the scenes stuff of, that. So thanks for bringing those cool props
For
on.
sure.
Can we,
But
guys,
I
we're
think
on
now
like
gonna get a chance
2.9k
to maybe,
views.
pass
Can
it
we
over
break
to
3K
JC,
here?
take a look
Like,
at
seriously?
the character in game.
I think this
as
might be
well.
the
So,
most I've ever had for a
first
Warriors
we'll talk a
then.
little bit about what
Can we
kind of
break
pillars
3K?
and
Yeah,
Holy
of
shit.
course,
Right,
of
so-
course.
when as most of you have watched Warriors and before and kind of heard me talk about these things, whenever we design a hero, we're trying to go with what our pillars.
You guys are
gonna be
fucking
gameplay-wise, right?
awesome.
And so this being like a hunter, a stalker, like character that kind of does that, but also somebody that we find is like very aggressive and efficient, right? So once you get in, you're efficient, you're aggressive. That's kind of like what we were going for. So that's kind of, we'll see that reflected in the gameplay. That's
Appreciate
kinda
likes,
interesting.
guys.
But at the same time, what we want to make sure is that like sometimes we make heroes, we don't want to do something that's completely 100% different from everything, because then it makes it too difficult to kind of understand, right? So
Love
it's
you
kinda
guys, man.
compared
Love you
to
guys too.
Heroes slow a little bit to other heroes. This hero, as you will see, has an infinite chain.
Ooh,
And it's kind of like what we did with Shaolin, where you have to alternate, buttons, but a little bit cranked up.
just to the nth
Just a
degree
little
of
bit
it.
cranked up. That's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be really interesting, and then we can talk with these wonderful people about animation as well as we go
Hyped.
through it. So let's get started.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting.
So first
Here
of
we
all,
go,
you
boys.
can walk there. Looks really cool. All that cool stuff.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Sprinting, Looks great. The attack over there.
Oh,
that's
the
kinda
running
good. That
attack.
looks pretty nice.
16 damage.
We're gonna do like a little emo here, right?
Yep.
So first of all, we're gonna do a free roaming emote. This.
Oh,
Death whistle.
Straight off the bat.
Oh, the death
Right.
whistle
Carry it on,
emote,
yeah,
dude.
all
Let me do it again so we can have a better view of it. There we go.
Amazing.
This is
Oh,
really-
amazing.
Honestly, this is super scary.
It sounds great too. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So let's look at the rest of this hero's attacks because that's kind of interesting.
Yes.
So as I was mentioning, we kind of have an infinite chain, but it's a little bit different this time, right? Because normally when we have like something like Shaolin, you can do like light to heavy, light to heavy, light to heavy. But that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But then we went, how do we
26
take
and
this
9.
a step further, right? And so what we came up with is every single option that you typically have. So light,
Wait, I'm
heavy,
covering
zone,
the
and bash
damage here.
work everywhere. So I can do light, but I can do light into a bash. I can do light into heavy, into a zone, into a bash, into all sorts of crazy things.
Oh
right?
gosh.
So the rules for chaining for this hero is every time you do the same button or so the same type of action twice in a row, right? So if you do light, light, heavy, heavy, bash, bash, zone, zone, you go into a finisher. That's where you stop. The finishers typically are like a little bit stronger. They have like better stuff. So that's kind of interesting.
I like that.
And you can alternate them constantly. And each option that you have has different options. Like they have different properties and where we can go. So it's kind of like pushing some of the stuff we have a little bit more to the extreme and going into that, right? And so what's also interesting is that we really built this hero to be every single light attack is using the spear, and every single heavy attack uses the club.
Oh,
When we
that's
zone,
cool.
Sometimes it uses the club. Sometimes, like you can see the finisher uses both at the same time.
That's
kinda
cool.
So I know this this caused not problems, but it's challenging for animation, right? That really that's different because it's the first time we have a hero that has two really, really distinct weapons, like real weapons, not like a shield and whatever. We have some characters that have
BK,
like,
let's go, guys. Nice
has
one.
like a dagger and a sword, but they're kind of similar and they're not using the same way. So what kind of challenges you guys face when we're working on this?
If I may, if in a way it kind of focused animation because it was like a very direct way to see like, okay, well, heavy's always going to be the club and light's always going to be the spear. So in a way, it focused a lot of our animation work. We were able to immediately discern and immediately make clear the animations were going to be light with the spear and all that. So that was good.
Thank you, Seb.
Another thing is that with the spear, we aim to have range, okay, with those pokes and things. And then with the club, we went more for the heaviness, feeling the body weight, feeling that power. And then if we talk about the chain,
24 and then
we went and
28.
took advantage of that inertia that the character was having, that momentum he was having. And we made a decision like, are we making him a spin or not? So...
Okay,
like
interesting.
Like you're showing it right now.
Yeah. So sometimes you're spinning, sometimes you're not. It's like
yes.
to make sure that
normally with the
right?
club is when we spin because we have a lot of strength, a lot of energy going on, and then with the spears just we go for the range.
All right.
One of
Gonna
the
be easy
big,
to
big
parry.
challenges
I mean,
I find we had for the openers and
this
and
is only the
finishers is
basic moveset,
everything
though.
chained together.
Not
We
showing
had to
everything
really
yet.
make sure that every blend was like perfect for that.
That's just the basic chain that they've showed yet.
Was really important because we only had about 3 frames in order to make transitions between the one attack to the other one in chain.
There's still going to be more. Give it a
all
chance.
Together with the endless possibilities, it was sort of a challenge.
Yeah,
but,
big challenge.
We wanted the player to have that feeling that he's never out of the chain.
That's cool.
Thank you,
because
Aaron.
one
I
of the
appreciate
things
that, bro.
Like you're talking about like having 3 frames for chains and stuff. Like so, if I can explain like in more gameplay terms. So
Yes, of course.
but it's essentially
Thank you,
what
Matthias.
we're talking about here is that we tried to make sure when we're designing this hero to have almost like a blender-like quality, right? We want you to when you're facing an OCELOTL that you're scared, and to have that sort of pressure and to make sure that you really felt that pressure. We made sure that the chain link timings were as short as possible. So often enough, when if you do a light into a heavy, you see it goes very, very, very fast into the next attack. You can delay them a little bit, of course, right? If you want, but you don't have to. And if you go really, really quick,
We need to see it from the other side, though.
Of that constant aggression and really feeling like you're in a blender, right? That's kind of what we're
like.
going
I want to
for.
see it from the other
That's
side.
super, super interesting. But it does. That's like you were mentioning. It creates a lot of challenges in terms of, well, how do we make this look good? How do we make this feel good? But that's a definite big challenge. That's really cool. I'm happy you guys really pulled it off because it's a big thing. That's great.
And I also think it's cool.
Looks
like,
good so far. Like
back
that's
to
just the
your,
basic
kind
attacks,
of the
guys.
narrative aspects of it that Ian and Raph talked about a bit. With this this character in the story that was built for him. It
Still
really
got a
was
full
like,
move set
he
to
made
get
a
through
very
yet.
angry
Come on,
boy, right? Like
get hyped.
he's very angry, right? And so you feel that a lot in his
There is
attacks,
something
right?
that I always say is that we have a strong words here.
Does he have a deflect or a pin or
fury
something?
or rage, whatever, brutal, vengeance. So he has a lot going on inside of him.
Yeah.
And our job is to translate emotions into motion.
That's a quick jump attack.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like
great.
I like
Kafira's.
that tagline.
We had in our minds in every single attack, Jim and I, like Amelie, of course.
That's
you
like a
can
quick
hear,
Kafira
but,
dash forward heavy.
We try to focus on that in order to make him strong. In the
it again.
anticipation to build that energy, quick releases, and then during the recovery, like he gets again into balance.
Oh, that's quick.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, really cool stuff. Awesome.
That looks quick. Like,
All right,
that looks
so
like a
let's go
shaman's
little
soft
bit into
feint.
the
quickiness
hero's,
on that side, though.
Basic kit, right? So, like I was saying, every single light, like the neutral lights are 500 ms, like we normally have. Chain lights are all 400 ms. They
also.
tag people when you dodge after you do a heavy or a bash or whatever. So
Yeah, that's
again,
not going to
a
be
lot
easy
of
to
pressure
parry.
there.
Nice.
Light finishers are 400 as well. So if I go light into light, that's 400.
That's not going to be easy
I
to
don't
parry,
think anybody
guys.
can react to these things. Like we've done some tests with
I
some
cannot.
pro players. Right. That's the thing.
We can, for sure.
Heavies, chain, so the chain heavies are 700 ms, really, really fast and with really quick chain link timings, again, to keep up the pressure. Heavy finishers are unblockable in every single stance, big swings there.
Oh,
really,
yes.
like, put a lot of, like,
Big
effort into, like,
swings.
the camera angles and the
Yeah,
They are my
28
favorite
damage
attacks,
swings,
yeah.
man.
It's
Yeah,
one of
two-
my
it's
favorites
pretty
as well.
balanced.
They look really, really cool, right?
Made it so it was very, very heavy on all fronts.
Yeah, they do feel heavy. Even though they're quick, you do
Yeah.
feel
The
that
damage
lot of
looks pretty
heaviness,
balanced so
it's-
far.
It's really, really good. And then we have zone attacks, which are always armored. The opener one, like it gains armor a little bit later. But when you go into chains, you get armor at the first frame.
Oh, nice.
They're a bit slower, but the idea there
So
is
the
like,
chain
if
is
you're in a quick fight,
22.
whatever, you typically want to use your zone attacks. So making them armor makes you harder to peel. That goes well.
Damage looks good.
Zone finishers as well. Like they switch sides too, so you're not super predictable. Again, you can use your armor to trade against dodge attacks against certain things, so that's great. And then we have bashes, right? So we also have an opener bash, so from front dodge to bash. You go into this.
Oh,
Nice.
10
One of the
damage?
things that we'll see as we go towards this is that every single bash this hero has deals direct damage.
Okay.
Never has confirmed damage afterwards, although getting a 400
Oh.
fight afterwards is almost guaranteed. but, you know.
so you don't get a
There's
light
some
off
ways
the
to get
bash or
out of it.
anything.
So the neutral bash, pretty simple. 500 ms bash off a front dodge, so that works quite well. Then we have the chain version that I'm going to go into here, which is slower, deals direct damage, but is
That does
feintable,
18.
right? We've been doing a lot of feintable bashes, especially on this hero. It's super scary. We've had some players that tested it out a little bit with us, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really, really cool."
Yo, this is going to be a good hero
And last
for...
but not least, we have
scripters.
the bash finisher, which is
Woo!
500 ms,
What the
deals
fuck?
quite a bit of damage. You have to make a read because you cannot dodge after this if I throw a light. So it's
Yo,
a
what?
lot again, like a lot of that
Do that
pressure
again.
and that build up there into going to what am I going to do? What's my opponent going to do? What is the OCELOTL going to do against me? And it's super scary. And with those bashes too, like we have like really unique animations here. Like everything's super different. I can go into this one where you do a big pummel strike. The finisher has the kind of crust cut there.
Oh,
So what kind of inspiration?
that's
do you guys
22
take from
damage. And
Oh, well, at first
Holy.
all the bashes were pummel strikes. I believe the opener was the right side, and then for the in chain we had the pummel strike from the spear. At a certain point, we're like, these are all pummel strikes. So JC
Seems
had the
balanced
great
from the
idea of
release.
making
Yeah,
the scissor
agree.
move, which I found really great. And it's a really vicious move. You kind of feel like Daniel was saying, the rage of the character through that move.
Oh, that's cool as fuck, that though. I like
So,
that.
all right. So outside of this, we have dodge attacks. They're all on lights. They don't have massive trajectories. Again, we have to have like some downsides to the hero, but also like it feels really natural to have quick dodge attacks with this. Front dodge light as well there. There's a little jump here in a bit of distance. That's pretty cool. Works quite well. But there's one more little thing I think that we haven't done.
Oh yes,
Right?
yes, that's very
Yes.
true.
That's quite different with this hero.
Go
So
ahead, yeah.
one of the things that we really want to feel, because we have all of this, right? We have the feat set that we're also
Yeah,
going to talk afterwards. But one of the core aspects is the hunting, the stalking, right? And so
Oh, has he got a
as
chase?
we were developing the hero more and more and more, we're like, you know, we're kind of missing that aspect a little bit. So we ended
A
up
chase?
creating a new kind of stalker stance, prowl
Yes.
stance.
Mhm.
You access it by holding down on the right stick, and you go into this, right? So
Oh.
when you are in this stance, there's a couple of things. First of all, you can't block. So it's really not meant to be like something defensive, even though like it's not super visible. But when you go into it, you get you do get a little bit of dodge range. Kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with Nobushi.
So it's not...
It's the same timings as Nobushi, so you can
not a
dodge
full
attacks
block.
with it.
Yeah.
So it works quite well.
Oh,
And
so
then
it's
the
got
other thing
eye
that's
freeze?
interesting
Like
here is that you actually
see-through
walk
stance and-
faster when you are in this stance.
Hidden stance?
than
That's
when you're not.
crazy.
So an example, if I'm strafing to the right here, you say the speed I'm going at. But when I'm in that prowl stance, I'm going much
Oh,
faster.
shit,
Faster
that's cool.
front, faster back, faster everything. So the idea here is that we really want people to be able to use this stance to kind of like be, there's a
Play
group fight
footsies.
happening. I'm hunting my prey. What am I going to do? And you get there. So when you are in
Little
this
bit of
stance,
footsies game.
you have one single attack that you can perform with the heavy button, which is this. So
Whoa.
when you perform it, you jump
Holy
forward,
shit.
leap by quite a bit. And if your attack connects, right, you can move from really far. You get
24
into a bit of a
damage.
pin. The club gets embedded in the opponent, slice it off. So really, really good. This acts as a heavy, so you can do your heavy chains afterwards. It's a
And
heavy
it chains?
opener, like what we have as heavy openers, and it's super effective. It's not the best tool in 1v1. I can warn people right away. It's not meant to be used as a 1v1 tool, but it's excellent at peeling. Right. So if you're again far in a group fight, you might be off screen. People don't really see you too much. You get into it. And then you see an opening, boom, you go
That's
strike.
cool, man.
Super well. It's not feintable or anything, but it's really, so you have to commit to it, but it feels really good.
This happened a lot in tests too, just so people know. You know, we were like testing it out. You'd be just, playing a Dominion game, then suddenly this just OCELOTL comes flying in from off screen. You're like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. But
That's
what's
cool, I
also
like
cool
that.
here is that this requires a lot of work from animation. So you want to walk us through a little bit, like,
Yes.
what goes into making that sort of stance there?
Okay,
You'll
first of
switch
all,
up
the
real
stance,
quick.
like the character is a little bit low, we can say that, and he's not static in that stance. So, which means we had to go to mocap and record a whole navigation like that.
Yeah.
The
Oh.
mocap actors did an amazing job, so shout out. They did amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, they've had a good budget
course,
for this
yeah,
one, haven't
yeah, Back and legs, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
So
He's gonna
That
be
was-
gonna be feeling it for sure.
D-flex,
So-
maybe. I've
Yeah,
seen
I
it.
remember
Yeah.
we shot it on I think on a Monday, and the Tuesday the guys came back in and they you saw they were hurting. It was obvious. They're very, very professionally trained, like stuntmen. They're amazing. They're really, really good
We has
people. They're
to
doing an
stop,
amazing job.
continue.
But
Yeah.
it's still
Yeah.
very, very it's
yeah,
hard on the
an amazing job there.
Was
Sure.
it tough to go and convince the mocap actors? Like, hey, so we just kind of need you to crouch for the next
Exactly,
2
crouch
hours.
a little bit more,
And just walk
and
everywhere.
can we repeat this,
Yeah, yeah.
please, please?
Do it again.
And then,
Crouch.
I bet the knees in the back would
Yeah.
you
kill
can
you.
always modify it with
Yeah.
our software, but it takes longer. So when we have like really good,
They'll show
data,
feats after
it's
this.
Everything we can put everything together like way
Absolutely.
faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for the attack, I would say that the challenge here, as an animator, we always exaggerate poses, and it was the range that he's covering there. So the challenge was to keep it not cartoony, right?
Yeah.
To give the level
That's
of,
cool, man. I like that.
to make it realistic, and as much as it fits the For Honor universe.
Yeah. And so one thing that people that you haven't been at mocap, it's kind of interesting to kind of talk about. Whenever we actually do mocap, when we do navigation, we call
Yes.
navigation when you're moving around. Like we're asking the actors or
What else do we
stuntmen
have?
to
What
really
else? Come
go
on.
and they have to walk, run in different directions. Do
Surely there's
figure
gotta be
eights, all
more,
sorts of
though.
stuff, so we can get like
Exactly.
every single movement, how the legs are placed, how that stuff works. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stuff, but it ends up looking amazing. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
super hyped. with
Yeah,
this.
you absolutely see it in the final results. The
Yeah.
end product here is like incredible.
sure.
Yeah. All right. So we've looked at this. Let's look at executions right now. Right.
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did a sprint attack before. I'm gonna do it again.
Go ahead.
Do it again.
Yeah. Right. So that's pretty cool. I can do it, and then it again.
Does it
counts as
chain?
an opener.
Can you lock on and
Walk
chain?
in,
Oh, it can.
save it
Nice.
if I want. So all good stuff there. That works really well.
That's the only attack he flipped.
Yeah,
Yeah, we tried doing that
Yeah.
move earlier.
Yeah, we were
outside
trying
with
like
the-
before, like
Man,
2
it was
minutes.
heavy.
It's rough.
That's
but
cool.
I don't know how the actors did
pretty
it.
There's
cool.
got to be more
Okay,
moves,
so,
though, right? Surely?
If you want to remove your infinite health,
Yes.
Got to be more moves, right? Surely that's not it.
I don't.
and arena settings, yeah. You go to the first one.
Here.
No,
Yeah,
no.
I can
Back
help.
to arena settings. Sorry.
This.
No,
No?
no, no, no.
You
Hit
want
the
to do it?
Nolan-
So he's got the
I
infinite
think,
chains, he's got the
yeah,
in-chain, he's got the
yeah,
bash, the in-chain bash.
Yep.
The zones, he's got
There you go.
that
Alright,
stalker stance
okay.
thing with a heavy feint,
So,
like that heavy leap. But what
We're
else?
gonna look at executions, right? So I'm gonna go.
You really just demonstrate the blender.
Yeah.
So execution number 1. We're a club.
Hey.
Jump to opponent. Bam.
Ah, I like that.
Get them off. Pretty brutal.
Cool.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Respawn. Okay, so let's do this again. We're gonna go through all 4 of them. So
Okay, so he's a pretty basic hero, but he is cool though.
That's the goal.
I'm still
Like,
still
this
pretty
one, I
hyped for it.
love this one. It's like so.
Oh, that's
The
sick.
Daniel special.
That's cool.
Right, so clearly, right now we're on stream, so we
Cannot
skip
show
the blood
the-
and stuff. We don't show the blood, but it's quite
When
bloody.
you see it in game, it's
yeah,
gruesome.
It's
it's
something.
quite bloody.
I like that.
So again, for the third one.
That one was a good one. That's a nice quick one.
Bit faster execution, right? Works quite well.
Yeah, good for
And then
Dominion.
finally, last but not least, alright, there we go. So that's the fourth execution here.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
All right on the spear, right?
That's my
Oh,
personal
So
favorite.
that's what we did at mocap, right? We
That's
had
the
one
best
guy like
one.
jump like that and
That's the
fall
best
into the
one.
spear and
Yeah.
just
Yeah, for
Not
real.
into the
We just
spirit.
we lost an actor
I went
that
to
day.
the
It was really
hospital
sad.
afterwards, but I mean, you
That's
know,
the one that
But
we saw in
got
the
shot.
trailer.
We got
We
the
shot,
shot.
right? So
We
that's
got the
good.
shot.
All right, okay. So now we've gone through the entire fight kit. So let's prep quickly.
Okay,
Go
fair
into,
enough.
Showing what the
Fair
feats
enough.
are,
He
'cause
looks
that's
decent.
quite unique.
It's nuts, and you know that's again, it's incredible. I gotta say, just to go back.
Yeah,
to,
he
like,
looks
the work
basic.
The team did. And,
Yeah, he
you know,
looks
this was a
basic,
big
but
team
he
effort
looks
to
good.
Get all
He looks
this
good.
animation work in. I know you know you two were
Sometimes
the
basic
lead
is-
animators on
is
this, but we also had other members
decent
of
as
the
well,
team
you
on
know?
this, so just big shout outs to everybody. Who
People
really
complain
worked
about
on
Afira for
animation,
having
the
too
audio,
much,
VFX,
right?
all this. It's,
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're the
it's
People
just
complain about
so
Afira
good,
for having
like,
way
the
too
work
much
was
kit.
incredible.
Everyone did their part, and it
So,
shows, man.
you know,
Yeah,
GD side, animation side, sound, everything.
yeah, for sure.
GBP, like at some
Yeah,
point
yeah,
with the
like
face,
It looks
you
good,
know,
man.
like-
I think it looks good.
We'll see through the feats when we go through them, right? But the first feat in particular, like it was a massive joint effort from VFX people,
Yes.
code, game design, everything. It's a
We're going
lot
to
of
see the
stuff
feats now, guys, so don't be going anywhere.
to do, but,
Don't go anywhere. We're going to see the feats now, man.
Yeah,
It's really,
we're
really
gonna
cool.
see it.
Yeah, big shout outs here, like also to the game design team, like my team, with Noel and
Noel,
Costa.
yep.
They're like two
No dodge
amazing
attack.
game
I'm
designers.
sure he has a
Super
dodge attack,
hard on the
but-
hero. Like it's always a team effort, right?
didn't
We
show it
always
all,
work
but, you
all
know.
the way together. But they were
I think
in
he had
charge of the hero, like,
I think he had a
in particular.
quick dash forward attack as well, like Afira's dash
Oh,
forward
yeah,
heavy.
Big
Really
guard. Noel
He,
Costa.
he,
do a hard
he did
time
that
on
once,
it.
but he didn't do it again after that. So
They'll do the
I
hard
could be
stuff.
wrong, but
It's good.
All right. Okay. So
I'm sure he's
we
got
can
dodge
switch
attacks that
there.
we've
Okay,
not
so
seen.
This
So,
is what's
you
going
know,
on, right?
we'll
So
see.
as you see, 4 feats. First 3 are passive. The last one is active. So we'll go for the first one because I think it's the crazier one, right? So Jimmy, if you wouldn't mind killing me, please.
By the way, Chad, if you're not sitting down, now's a good time. Sit down. If you're in a car, buckle up. If you can just find a seatbelt anywhere, just get it.
Just not.
What is it?
Right.
Okay.
go.
So now, oh no, I died. What's happening?
Oh no.
Oops.
Oh,
I
man.
respawned.
What the
This is what the first feat does, right? So whenever
What the
you die
shit?
and you're not executed, or you don't die from like traps or get ledged or whatever,
Yeah.
you
What the
get back up in spirit form. You can run around the map, go anywhere you want, and respawn wherever you'd like, as long as you're not too close to enemies or allies,
What?
or in ladders. You can run around. You can go up ladders if you'd like.
You can respawn wherever you want?
You go up
What?
ladder.
You're faster. Yeah.
You're also faster. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. You're actually running faster, so there's a bit of animation there. I can go here.
Holy
look,
shit, man.
Respawn here. Right?
What the fuck?
Backcapping, super crazy, super dangerous. Really, really cool stuff.
What the
The
actual
first feat
fuck,
really
man?
is about repositioning. We'll do it again just to make sure that there's a couple
Holy
more things to
shit.
talk about. But essentially, it's around the concept of life and death, especially for these warriors, is whenever
Bruh.
you end up perishing and
That's
dying,
tier 1 as well.
get back up and you can position yourself.
That's tier
so
1,
you can
bro.
kill me again if you'd like.
I've never played
Great, right?
Jason.
I love-
if you
Holy
want.
If you want,
shit.
you know, otherwise you don't have to. But yeah. So another thing that's important to see here is that the feat always activates. There is no cooldown to it. So every time you die on
Holy
the battlefield
shit, dude.
and you're not executed, like I said again, you can. This always happens. When you get back up, your health is really low, and it slowly goes back up.
Yeah, you can see it
regenerates
regenerating here.
slowly over time. So we really want to do this for balancing purposes, so that we.
Yeah,
had
I
some
mean,
tests
that's
that we
good.
did, and
Good that they did that.
We
You
had
don't just
versions
respawn
where
with
you
full
were at
health.
full health when you got back up.
Oh,
right
I
away,
remember those days.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember those
started,
days.
like at half.
That is crazy.
You can see it's like it's rather slow right now, and that's really on purpose. Because
Like-
we don't want you to be able to just
I kind of like
you
it.
die in front of somebody and you get
Like,
right
I
back
kind
up,
of love
full
that,
health.
to be
They're
honest.
not-
I think
they're
that's
not healed up.
insane.
You know, you're just
Exactly,
gonna destroy
yeah.
them.
Like,
Go
it's
through the
new, it's
blender,
unique,
surprise,
right?
You know, so that's really cool.
Bear in mind,
The
this is
other
only if you
important thing
die,
is that you see
like,
there's, respawn in how many
not when you
seconds.
get
have a minute
executed.
to choose to respawn. If you're too close to enemies against you, you can't respawn here.
oh,
If
so you
the
can't
timer
respawn
expires,
right on
you
someone's
respawn
head.
back at your home point.
That's
so you
good.
really have
It
to
seems pretty
kind of
pretty
respawn wherever
pretty
you
good.
like there. And it's super good. So, right, so if whenever you get killed or whatever, you can go. You
Holy
can
shit,
back
man.
You can look at the battlefield, see what's going on. Maybe spawn. You see a group fight, like okay, I'm gonna go help my ally. You go respawn a little bit out of it. Do
Wow.
into this. help out
I
your
am
opponent,
fucking
help out your
shocked
ally
at that.
rather. So it's pretty cool, right? There's a lot of good stuff there that works. Really well.
I think it's also important to mention there that even though you're seeing JC's perspective here and you get the cool
Oh.
silhouette as you're running around in that form, your opponents cannot
Can't
see you.
Yeah, right. Like if you wanna, like you can
Yeah.
do it again. Well, actually, I'll.
Yeah.
I'll
Please kill me. Fun
It's a
fact
brutal
about-
stream today, guys.
Don't
Fun
legend.
fact about
Don't
this
legend.
feat, we had a lot of realization ideas for the feat 1 revive animations. They turned out to be way too long, so it was very ethereal. The actors were moving around and being revived, but for the sake of gameplay, we had to cut a lot of those animations
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
So you can't
So
see
right
him at
now-
all.
Jimmy's somewhere. I have no idea where he is.
He's
Where?
somewhere.
He's somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Wow,
He
man, I
might
can't
respawn at
believe
my
that.
face.
You
He
know.
might respawn at my home point. He might
Holy
respawn
shit.
at my opponent's point. I have no idea. I do not know where he's going to respawn. And then I'm like, where is he? Where is he?
Capturing
He's
your
getting
point.
his
Oh no, he's there. He's capping, right? So that's kind of like a big part of this.
Bruh.
Super interesting there.
Oh man.
It's very, very unique, very different. We've never.
No,
even
the enemy
done
can't
yeah.
see you.
with this.
Yeah.
I know our programmers were having a field day where we told them, yeah, we're gonna start to look at doing stuff when and moving around when you're dead and see how that goes. They didn't like us, but
That is
in the end, they
wild.
did an amazing job.
Yeah.
We made it.
Very worked together, so it was
Mm-hmm.
great. Okay, so let's go to the other two feats because we don't
I
have.
kind of like it though. That's the
So
thing.
the
I
second
think it's
feat
fucking awesome.
is kind of like Aztec Killer Deterrent, right? So that's
I like
kinda
it.
I think
I
they
like
did
it.
a good job of
Right, they
balancing it.
changed the name. And
right?
gave-
Yeah. So
Like
what
with
it
the health
does is
situation.
when you actually kill an ocelotl here. So you see on top of my head, I have a little marker, and I also have a buff and a debuff. The buff is for the third feat, but the debuff is on me. So essentially, when you
Dude.
kill an ocelotl, you get revealed on the map, and you get a defense debuff for I think it's 15 seconds. So it's not really necessarily like a buff for your
Oh,
opponent
okay.
that they're going to be able to see you, the one you
15
killed
seconds.
specifically, but it's also to
Not bad.
kind of like deter people from focusing on this hero too much.
Right.
Because if you end up killing an ocelotl in a group fight, you're probably going to die afterwards. Right? You get a significant defense debuff. You got to be scared a little bit. So that's kind of interesting here. We really want to make sure that, like, again, the feats play with life and death, and what happens when you kill an ocelotl, and what happens when you get killed as an ocelotl.
Nice.
And so the next one, when I kill any hero, right here, I'm gonna do here. So third feat activates. So the third feat is whenever you kill an enemy, execution, whatever, you gain a speed increase and
damage.
an attack buff. So again, it's like really, really strong. You get into a group fight, you kill somebody, it's gonna be easier to kill other people in that group fight.
Nice.
So again, with that life
Wow.
and death stuff, you manage to kill your prey. You get
What a
pumped up,
fucking
you
cool
get,
character,
Cool,
man.
I'm gonna be able to do more stuff, and you kill more people. So that's
Yep.
really, really good. Again, short cooldowns on those are passive. They pretty much trigger every single time you either die or you kill somebody. So that works really, really well.
Nice.
And then last but not least is feat 4. So for feat 4, we're trying to do something a little bit different here. Vanessa, when we started working on this hero, the legendary Vanessa,
The legend. The legend.
really, really, really wanted to go, you know what, we have like this big spear. I want to throw it and bring people back to me, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So
What?
do we do here?
Scorpion?
You throw this spear, get
Bruh.
them back to you, and then you get into a guard break. So
You get a guard
he's
break?
gonna perish, unfortunately, but it's okay.
Dude,
So you
the
can
other
s-
fat
So
did that.
what happens is when you throw that spear, the cooldown also we're on like super fast feet.
So you can get next to a legend, ledge
It's
someone?
okay, chat. It's okay.
Okay, right. So what ends up happening is that you throw the spear when it connects, it deals a little bit of direct damage, a significant amount of bleed damage. Pull an opponent towards you, and then you get into a guard break position, which means you can throw somebody, or you get another free heavy afterwards. But when I say throw somebody, you know, you can kind of. Oh no, there's a ledge
But
here. What's gonna
where
happen?
can you
You're gonna
throw
see-
somebody?
You're gonna see where the when the
It's
feet
gonna
back
die
up,
again.
Cool down.
Anticipation.
How far
I'm not
does
gonna
it
die
go?
before I throw him, I think. So
Okay.
let's do this. And then, oops, there's a ledge. Oops.
So
Almost
close,
there, right?
so close.
We missed
it works. Trust me, it works. Not every single time, but it works. So you have to be careful. You have to be really close to the ledges.
Holy
but that's the type of
shit.
thing you can expect, right? So you can use it.
Yeah,
to do a
old
lot of different
Shinobi
things.
tech, man.
If there's,
The
any
ranged
obstacle
ledge is back.
between You and the target you're
Wow.
pulling.
Yeah.
Like once you've hit them, if you pull them towards you, they're gonna get stopped. So you can't just like pull somebody through allies or enemies or whatever. So you still have to.
To be fair though, it is feat
but
4,
it-
right?
It's amazing. It's a projectile. So again,
There's
you can
literally
fight,
fire
you're
flasks
external,
in the
you can
game.
Throw it, pull your opponent towards you.
That
Get
it
a
fucking
heavy,
insta kill
allies get a
people,
heavy off of them as well.
pretty much.
All sorts of good stuff. So it's a.
There's those bombs that insta kill. Do you know what I mean? It's not really.
And was that tough to do?
crazy,
for,
is it?
You know, like kind of like you forcing them and
Nothing to
dragging
lose your
and,
mind
like,
over.
Was that a little tough?
It's
That
fucking
feat
cool.
wasn't an easy feat.
Right, yeah.
So we had a precedent before with other characters to do sort of a grappling thing. So we based ourselves of that for
That is sick,
for this feat, and we used a similar system with the graps where we had first an animation for the grappling itself, then we needed a loop for the target to reach the opponent. Once that loop was done, we also needed another animation for the drawback, and after that we branched into the guard break, which was an addition we did by the end.
Hey,
They
you got
got
it that
Ah, there you go.
Sorry.
time.
Yeah. So all these
That's
systems work
fucking
together.
cool.
More the
bro.
technical side, I would say.
Yeah, this is a pretty technical side.
Yeah,
of it.
T4 is usually a free
animation-wise,
kill. Exactly,
It was
exactly.
relatively simple.
So,
It was
you
more the
know,
technical side that was a challenge.
Yeah, because we
Nothing
have
to lose your
some
mind
of
over,
the
is it?
VFX as well
it's
have
cool.
rolls
Like,
and all
it's
that sort of
unique.
stuff.
It's cool.
All that stuff is built through like VFX systems, so it's really
Fucking love it, man.
But
Holy
yeah, At the
shit.
end of the day, you can just grab your opponent, get them over here, and then do something you want with.
Yeah, get
So
it.
excited for this.
But yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for.
Looks like I'm playing more
um,
Dominion, guys.
Oh boy, that's a lot.
yeah, it's a lot.
That's a lot for the
a lot for
Ocelotl.
Lotl.
It's a lot of Lotl.